guys. This isn't going to be one of my normal videos, but I decided that I would just have a Facebook Live while I tidied my desk. Looking at the baby door cutouts. Yes, thank you, JC. The fairy door cutouts, that's one of our main products. We sell cutout fairy doors like this, made out of wood. We also sell the digital files for you guys, so you can cut them out and then either decorate them yourself, or you can sell them as blanks, and then people buy them and they decorate them. We've made quite a lot. We actually have currently 10 volumes of our cutout doors on Etsy. The digital files are there on Etsy. And then we also have another 6 volumes in total being developed as we speak. And what we're actually going to be doing then is we'll have 101 doors. So we're going to have a bumper edition of doors. So you can either use one volume or use all the volumes and have quite an amazing collection. So people are really enjoying the fairy doors. They're going really well on Pinterest, and so lots of interest on Pinterest, which is pretty good. So as you can see, my desk is a total and utter mess. And the plan is to be able to make videos for you guys once it's time. So tomorrow, that's what will happen. You probably can't hear me when I got my back to you, but it is what it is, I guess. Not that watching someone tidy their desk is very interesting. Listening to them while they're tidying their desk is probably just as boring. Where are you lot going? Here, yes. Leather. More leather. I don't think I'm going to get any more use out of. That is clear premium grade acrylic. This is always fun, is working out what of your scraps you can actually use again and which you're just keeping for the sake of keeping. And I definitely have a problem. We did a whole load of the mask hooks that were really popular last month and the month before, and we kept, well actually they're still all over there. You can't see me pointing. They're still all over there, and that's going to be one of the next things I sort out, is working out what of that scraps it's actually worth keeping and what can be just chucked out. I wonder if you guys have the same problem deciding what you should keep and what you shouldn't. It's I like that. It's a nice piece of draft board. The draft board's 10 a penny, so Do we really need to be keeping it? Probably not. So I'm going to be a little bit more selective, I think, on what we're keeping or what we're not keeping. Basswood, draft board. This is my scraps pile from way back when I first bought the glow forge. This was my first cut. I made some coasters for the table. It's pretty cool. That was my first cut, and we still use it every single day. More basswood, red oak hardboard, basswood. Yeah. I definitely need some way of organising all this stuff. Because keeping it is not, well, seriously not worth it. And the whole load of Easter eggs that I cut out and made wrong, but don't need those. That we can keep. Those we don't need. So, do you guys have the same issue with all of your offcuts? Is it a maker's issue that we don't want to throw anything out in case we can make something out of it? I don't know. Hopefully, I will get organised and have some form of system to all of this. Look, I've even got pieces of acrylic that we're definitely never going to use. Really crazy. Really crazy. So anyway, feel free to ask me any questions while I'm tidying my up everywhere here in the studio, because I would really appreciate the distraction from it all. I'm actually also making, from the camera over there, making a stop motion recording as well. This is our new design for the stand for the artwork and so forth. Nice little living hinge on here. This has been a really cool thing that we wanted to make for a long time, and we just eventually got around to doing it. And it also works very well in acrylic, so it's all clear, and then obviously it doesn't take away from the artwork. But in draft board, you can spray paint it any colour you like, which looks really cool. So yeah, that's our little cutout there. It's really cool. Over there. All right, where are we up to? More draft board. Yay! So these are all the cutouts from our fairy doors. It's really weird. We did 6 volumes of fairy doors so far, and then we have one volume that's so super popular. It just everyone buys that one thing. So I seem to be making like the laser cutter just over there. He's actually cutting fairy doors as we speak, and we seem to be just cutting those in my off time when I'm tidying my desk. We're doing laser doors and more laser doors and more laser doors. This is one of my favourite fairy doors here. That's it looks a bit like a Smurf house. It's really cool. I like it. I'm thinking that I should, out of these bits here, be able to cut more of the hinges. Yes, that's a great use for those pieces of scrap. I can make those little stands. So that's what I should do with those bits. There. Oh yeah, well, perfect. Alright, well, that is the new use for that bit, which is pretty cool. So like I say, if you've got any questions, then go ahead, throw them in the comment box below, and tell me what you're working on. If you joined today, it's probably because you were looking at the wall art stand that we've just produced. What we're going to be doing is producing some different things over the coming weeks. So let us know what you'd like us to develop, and we'll have them in the file section as well. Let us know. I know some of you wanted to learn more about Illustrator, so I'm going to be doing some more videos on Illustrator for you. There are some videos in our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/summersmade. So you can go ahead and look at that. Make sure you subscribe, and then you'll get updated from YouTube with when we do new videos. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to that. I do videos in that on various things that we've made and how we've made it. There's videos on Illustrator and how to do simple things like creating hearts from scratch, which is really fun to do because you just use two simple rectangles and merge them together and cut them out, and then they turn into amazing hearts, which is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I have a lot of scrap. I think one thing I'm going to be designing is something you can make with little bits of scrap draft board, which is what I have an awful lot of, is draft board. The draft board is probably what we use the most. I guess when we were doing the mask hooks, we were using clear acrylic like crazy, but now we've gone back to draft board again. There's some clear acrylic or draft board. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff. I wish there was a way of just kind of indexing all the scraps, because the problem is there's so many different types of wood, so many different types of acrylic. Everything's covered in masking tape, so you don't know what it is. There's some scraps from a project I did. I was attempting to make a glass gate for the back of the Glowforge, and that didn't really work very well. So now we're working on this little guy, which is hopefully going to be ready for you very soon. But what this is it fixes onto the back of your Glowforge. So that slots onto the Glowforge, and then this part here makes it super easy to fix onto your hose. We're just working on getting the perfect fit, so it's really super tight. And then this, I don't know if you've ever experienced putting your hose on or taking it off for cleaning and whatever, but we've really had a big issue with that clip that you put your hose on has been this thick, and well, now we've made it bigger, and it has a nice little bevel, so the clip goes around it much nicer, and then that just fixes onto your back of your Glowforge. We should have that completely finished by the end of this week, which I'm looking forward to, because we've just completely redone our inline fan at the back of our stage here, with a new 6-inch Infinity inline fan. It's so much better. We've actually taken out the fan from that was in there, that was in the Glowforge with the factory fan. We took that out so that we can now well, breathe in the house, which is cool. We work from home, so having it be a home rather than a factory with crazy gases everywhere is really quite cool. I'll do a video just on that inline system that we put in and how we did it and how we took the fan out and the fun that we experienced taking that fan out. In fact, there's 2 screws that I need to put with the fan when I finish this video. We also do sublimation as well on various products. So if you want advice on sublimation, I actually have an extremely good sublimation mentor that got me involved in it, and happy to pass you on stuff that I've learned from that. We work with both Glowforge and then Cricut machines, and then Sawgrass sublimation printers, and what else have we got? Heat presses. Got some really fun stuff that we play with here, and so I'm happy to pass on anything that we can to help everybody out. You know, I really want this group to be a place where we can all help each other, and you know, we have a full-time designer that works on our designs and so forth. So you know, as we can, obviously some of our stuff is private to us, but as we can, we will share that with you guys. This, I can't see it on the camera here, but we have a little photo box here that we take our photos from. In fact, in there are some of the fairy doors that we've been doing. So this is one of the volumes here that all get painted with acrylic paint pens, and then people put them around the house, they put them outside, nailed to trees. It's super fun. It's a super fun little thing. This is one of the other first things I did with the Glowforge, and as you can see, I didn't mask it, so it got quite burnt around the edges. But my plan is to now I know how to use it, is to do this again. Today we had a soliciting call at the door, and it reminded me to get that done, because I really can't stand soliciting. There we go. Oh, there we go. That Glowforge has finished. Let me know if you have any questions, or if you just like watching someone clean their desk, that's fine, hang out. But if you have anything you'd like to ask, or if you have any comments on what you'd like to see training videos for, then let me have those in the comment box, and maybe I can cover it while I'm tidying up here, or we'll do a separate video on that. So, there's a video in our YouTube channel, youtube.com/. Sorry about that. There's a video in our YouTube channel, youtube.com/summersmade, about our second and third buttons that we added to our Glowforge. These are really quite cool labour-saving buttons. One of them turns on and off our air filter, which we're actually not using anymore because we've just installed our amazing inline fan. And then the other turns on and off our shop vac, which is underneath the Glowforge, so that when you've got all that debris that you spend hours picking out piece by piece, we can just vacuum it out with the shop vac, which is really, really cool. So I just press a little button on the wall here, and it switches on the vacuum, and I press another little button on the wall, and it switches it off. So I love my little buttons and gadgets and so forth. That is a whole load of random scrap. But as I said in the beginning of this video, I am sure that we're going to make something out of it, aren't we? I mean, who knows what it's going to be, but we're going to make something out of it. Stick that under there. That's my goal for this week, is to design something with my scrap and have a bit of a scrap party like these guys here. I mean, you've probably got these all over your place. Little round discs of perspex that you just can't throw away because they're perfect round specks of perspex. But you know, I've got them in white, I've got them in black. Maybe that's what we should have in the group, is a competition on, you know, what can you do with a 6-inch by 6-inch scrap of something. These are really cool. This is a little file, a little sanding stick, so you can sand, or you can get it, all your rough calluses off your skin, but you can use it to sand the edges of your items that you're making. I found the wire that I bought for the fairy fences that we're going to be making. So let's do that this week. That's one thing that we can do with the scrap. In fact, that would look really cool with the scrap white that we have. We make little white picket fences out of scrap white acrylic. That'd be quite cool. I have a million toothbrushes on my desk that I use to clean the blowforge with. They can go there. Look, I found wood. I mean, not wood that we're going to make anything with. I mean, wood of the table. I didn't realise it was under here. I do not know what that is. Oh, yes, I do. I do not need it, I don't think. It's there for now. Yeah. Okay. Can you actually hear me? Because I'm not getting any questions. Maybe you don't have any questions, which is fine. But if you do have any questions, message in the comments box. If you don't have any questions but you can hear me, you tell me you can hear me so I know that I'm not just talking to myself. That would be great. And or you can just say hi. It's fine. You know, I don't mind. This is really cool. This is moss. Some of it's getting a bit old now, but we use this moss to put around our fairy doors that we put up against trees and so forth. To make them look a bit real, they can use them as hedges and little growth areas, which is quite cool. Oh, I found more desk. Wow, we are getting there. We are getting there. Well, that is until you come out this side of the desk. Okay. Don't know what. Oh, hello. Hey Jen, how you doing? Can you hear me? I'm not even sure whether my microphone's working. I'm just rambling while I'm tidying the desk. Jen is one of our newer members. She's just received her. What are you using the toothbrushes to clean? Oh, good question. Thank you. Can you confirm you can hear me, Jen? And then I'll tell you what I use the toothbrushes to clean. Can you hear me? a no then. Let me just swap the microphone over to this. Can you? Oh, you can hear me. Okay, can you hear me any better now? It's working just fine. Okay, good. Is it working fine still? Because I've just swapped to a different microphone. Anyway, the toothbrushes. So your machine, your Glowforge that you are in the middle of unboxing and getting ready to do those first cuts, is going to get super filthy. In fact, before you do a first cut, if you haven't already, take a picture of how glorious the glass tube looks. Take a picture of how white and so forth the plastic of the Glowforge looks. And then as you start to use it, you'll start to see that deteriorate. The glass tube probably needs cleaning every 1 to 2 days, depending on how much use you're going to get out of it. And so the toothbrush I use to get into the little areas of the Glowforge that just needs a bit of a good scrub. And then I use this magic liquid here, which is just in a little bottle that we got from CVS, which is basically half water and half white vinegar. And this is magic. This is the best cleaning stuff I've ever experienced. I use this horrible cloth and literally just spray it onto the cloth and onto the toothbrush and scrub any areas that need to be scrubbed, and it gets it nice and clean. So yeah, the toothbrush is going to be something that you'll want to use to get into the little nooks and the little crannies. In fact, I'll do a training video on how to there we go. Hello. I'll do a training video on how to clean the machine from top to bottom, so that everything is nice and organised. But cleaning is something you'll need a whole load of these things, little shop cleaning products and so forth. And there we go. Let me just move that to there. Yeah, you'll need a whole load of white vinegar. Get yourself one of those big bottles of white vinegar, and you'll be pleased that you did. And then a toothbrush, and you'll want a can of change the camera. A can of contact cleaner. This is good for cleaning the circuit boards and so forth. And then most definitely, and don't use anything else, you'll need Zeus lens wipes. I'll put all the links for these things into a cleaning thread. Is it Zeus or Zeus? Right, my wife is correcting my pronunciation. She spends her life correcting my pronunciation. I just argue with her that it's a British pronunciation instead of an American pronunciation, but sometimes I don't get away with it. But yeah, I'll do a thread on the cleaning side of things, and I'll do some videos as well for you, so that you can get on top of that. It depends on how much you use it and then what you're cutting. As I said earlier, I do a lot of cutting on draft board, and draft board makes an awful lot of like dust and sawdust and particles and dark smoke and everything else, and so that it really does make it a lot dirtier than I'd like. And so you get to a point where it doesn't cut all the way through a piece of board, and then that's a great time to start cleaning, because if it doesn't cut through the board, you don't always want to waste a nice piece of hardwood because it hasn't cut all the way through. And so cleaning it is a must. Especially, it's amazing what that lens wipe does. You can look at the lenses of the Glowforge, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places that you need to clean with a lens wipe. But when you get to the point of it not cutting all the way through, or preferably before you get to that point, wiping those 5 places with a lens wipe and a different area of the lens wipe each time, it makes a massive difference. That first cut after you've done a cleaning is just so nice. Everything just falls out of the holes it was cut from, and it's a really nice experience, especially if you just had to kind of rescue a piece with an X-Acto blade to cut it back all the way through the rest of the side. The next cut is super nice. I'm seeing more of my desk. This has been a good thing doing this video because I'm not going to clean the rest of the house. No, my wife just asked if I was going to clean the rest of the house. No, this is, huh? she's agreeing that just setting a video and going, I'm going to clean my desk while it's videoing. She's agreeing that that's a good idea, that works. It's like it's a really good thing because like you're keeping me. What's the word? I don't know what the word is. It doesn't matter. Oh look, I found our Mother's Day. It was one of the nasty English words. Yeah. Do you know one thing I need in here is a better way of storing all my tools, because I've got tools everywhere. I use them and then I put them down, and so I need to organize my tools better. I have bits of computer, I have bits of wood, bits of perspex, bits of acrylic, whatever you want to call it. Acrylic, not perspex, acrylic. It's called acrylic. Oh, thanks. JC's bringing me trash. That's all I need. So yeah, I hope that answered your question, Jen, about the toothbrush. But please take a photograph of your unboxed, gorgeous, sexy, shiny Glowforge now, and use that as motivation for when you are cleaning it to get back to that stage. And the more you clean it to get back to that stage, the easier it is. Because if you leave it for a while, well, it turns it into a big job. When I had a problem cutting the other day, and it was because I'd actually, since I had it, I missed a fan that needed cleaning. I'm going to see if I can find the photo that I took of this fan when I eventually found it and started cleaning. Let me see if I can find it. What did you say, JC? There are pieces that you don't know that need to be cleaned, and that's why I'm going to do a cleaning video and show you all the places that need to be cleaned. Where is this picture of the fan? It really scared me because just a couple of weeks ago there was someone posted a picture of their burnt out Glowforge because it had they'd left it on. Here we go. So I'm not sure how you're going to be able to see this with the camera, but here is a fan. This fan is actually directly behind the laser, and you can see it there. Hopefully you can see it there. I'll add it to the comments. It looks like I've actually buried it in the backyard, left it there for the whole of the winter period, and then dug it back out and put it in the back of the Glowforge. It took me a long time to kind of clean it and get it to how I expected it to be. So I'm going to do a video on cleaning because I think that's really important. I don't mean a video on cleaning my desk, that's this one. But a video on cleaning the Glowforge, keeping it working. At the end of the day, you've spent somewhere between 5 and 8 grand on this machine. You want to make sure that it's well looked after. And do you know what I need, JC? I need like a little toolbox. You know, like a... Yes. And then all these tools can go in that rather than... Well, you know, they have those amazing red things.
What?
They do what? What, the big ones? Where am I going to put that? I mean, something... It won't fit under there. Huh? Yeah, I'm not sure it'll fit under there. That fan is likely coming out as soon as my warranty is up. Inline fan will be here on Friday. Yeah, so that fan that I just showed you the photograph of isn't the fan that I took out. The fan that I took out was equally disgusting, and but I literally got my Glowforge in March, so my warranty isn't up. But I decided to take it out anyway, because looking at everyone's problems that they have with their Glowforge that were covered by the warranty, you end up either having them ship you a part that you're going to put in yourself, or you end up having to ship your Glowforge all the way back, and just the cost of that, you may as well just fix it yourself, kind of thing. My Glowforge has been running like a workhorse since I got it in March. We made nearly 20,000 S-hooks for masks for the health workers, and so I wish I'd taken it out earlier, to be honest, because it makes a massive difference to just sound and everything else. I mean, the fan is running. The laptop that I'm speaking through is sitting 9 inches away from the Glowforge, and the fan is on right now, and I'm pretty sure that you probably can barely hear a hum if you can hear anything. That's the sound of it. It's just awesome. And then watching the power of the in fact, let me switch cameras and show you what we've done here. Give me a second. All right, so you're going to see behind the scenes here, but so the Glowforge, turn it around a little bit. The Glowforge is here. This is my Sonic. You don't need to see that. It has a 4-inch pipe that comes out of the back of the Glowforge, and then it's a bit like Wizard of Oz here. We will draw back the curtain and or the backdrop, and then here you'll see we've got the 4-inch pipe. It goes into a 6-inch reducer, and then on the other end we have a 6-inch pipe that goes out to the window. What I'm actually going to do is put 6-inch pipe going all the way along, and then put the reducer at the back of the machine, so that the 6-inch pipe is used a lot longer, which will help with the pressure, because then we've got a 6-inch alignment. What I had before, which is now in the garage, was a 4-inch one. So the same fan, but a 4-inch system. You can see now behind the scenes. Not many people are going to see this. This is a privileged video that we put up the peg wall here and so forth. But let's go ahead and cover that back up until we do the video on how to do the inline fan. That will never be seen again. It's what? I can't hear you. The desk is pretty much clear. Look. Let's go back to the overhead camera. Look, you can actually see my work mat. It's impressive. It's impressive. I think tomorrow we'll be able to do some more training videos. So Jen, what's the first 3 training videos that you would like to see? How can we help you get a head start out of your Glowforge? I know you're waiting for parts for your fan before you really start using it. But what are you what are you going to be hitting the ground running with? I just found one of my first sublimated key rings that I made for a client. This is sublimated hardboard and then heat pressed. The nice photograph gets heat pressed on and then glow forged to cut out the hardboard and cut the hole to add the keyring hardware. So sublimation is something that we are just starting to work with, and it's really quite exciting once you work out how. This is something, depending on where you live, when you're doing the inline fan, this is called a blast gate, and you connect it to the outside of the house and the air vent, and then this side goes to the fan. And what it does is it allows you to, at night time or any time you're not using the system, you get to close the sluice gate or the blast gate. And what that does is it enables you to ensure that no moist air comes from outside into your machine. That's the last thing you want, is to have the wrong type of air coming from the outside when you're not using it into your machine. So you may want to look at having something like that installed either at the Glowforge end or at the window or wall end. That's going to protect your machine in the long run. There's a whole load of keyring blanks that I made for the sublimation. Heat press. Alright, where do you lot want to live? I think you lot can live. What are you? Look at this. Oof! Why is acrylic so heavy? Alright. Awesome. Definitely, Jen. Definitely keep hold of those scraps. I have a whole load of scrap, but not from my dad. Just from making too much stuff and not wanting to throw anything away. Yeah, definitely. Working with scrap is cool. Learning about the speed, learning about power, learning about definition, the lines per inch if you're engraving, the differences between scoring and engraving. Scrap wood is a great way of learning all that stuff, because you don't want to be wasting proof grade stuff because it's expensive. Actually, later on I'll do another video on proof grade and whether proof grade is worth it or not. I think it is. I've bought non-proof grade stuff because it saves me a few dollars, and then found that it flares up. Flaring is where you get a small flame coming from where the laser's hitting the material. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My wife was saying it smells worse. Yeah, we bought some really cheap acrylic, and well, that was horrible. We threw the rest of that away because we just didn't want to ever burn that again. All right. I have a couple of caps that I plan to iron patches on at some point. They can go over there. I have a whole load of flexible chopping mats because someone... Huh? Were these for Mother's Day? No, we were going to make mask hooks with these. Yeah. So these came from, I forget where they came from. Who? Say that one more time. Menards? They came from Menards, apparently. But the interesting thing is, it's cuttable with a laser, and it's really, buying them as chopping boards, it's really cheap acrylic. The only thing you'd want to avoid using is the bit that has a picture of a bread, a fish, and a turkey leg on it. But yeah, so there's my desk. Wow. I have a desk. Huh? Bedroom's next. Okay, yeah. I'm not doing the garage. The garage staying like it is forever. Ah, all right. I don't think I'm going to use the Susie. I think I'm going to make whatever what? I don't know what she's talking about. So this here is hardboard, sublimated wrought hardboard. So it's a gloss white on one side and hardboard on the other side. I'm going to put that into the Glowforge. These are just bits of scrap. What I'm going to make with them are the keyring blanks. So anyway, I'm done as much as I can on my desk for now. I'm going to work out where all these tools are going to go. Thanks for hanging out with me and keeping me motivated. As always, if you've got any questions or queries, just put them into the group and let's get some videos created and help people out. Cheers. Bye-bye.